At the beginning of this war, there were supposedly 37.4 million people in Ukraine. It says in reality, there were already 2 million Ukrainians working in the United Kingdom and the European Union. And once the war began, over 10 million Ukrainians left. In other words, they packed up their bags and they moved out. 1 million plus went into Russia. The rest went west. Now, if you look at those numbers and then you consider that right now inside the areas currently controlled by the Russians, there are 4 million so-called Ukrainian citizens. Of course, they're Russians. They speak Russian. They are Russians, and they're living under Russian administration. They're all very happy to have, quote unquote, been liberated. But when you start adding up these numbers and then you look at the casualties that no one wants to tell the truth about, you're looking at 18 to 22 million people left in Ukraine.
Wow.
Now,
wow.
Clayton, that's the size of the Netherlands. The Netherlands. You cannot maintain this war with a million plus under arms and enormous quantities of equipment being poured into it with 22 million people right now, especially when they're all living on the edge of poverty. They have no energy. They're worn out. They're exhausted. And the discontent in Ukraine is absolutely out of the ballpark. People there are sick of it. And they're sick of Zelensky. His soldiers keep posting videos that they take of themselves and their comrades on the front line saying, here we are. We're starving. We're freezing. We're being abandoned. The wounded are being left alive, alone to die. And now we also have this epidemic with tuberculosis that the West refuses to recognize because this is not what Europeans want. All you have to do is look at the polls. 60+% of Europeans everywhere are saying, no, we don't want a war with Russia. You're in Portugal. The Portuguese have said, sure, send them our old stuff. Make them happy. We love the United States. We want good relations with them. I don't see any Portuguese lining up to fight in the East, in eastern Ukraine. Forget it. It's not going to happen.